Welcome to the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground with Lisa Eve. Hi, I am Lisa Eve, here to help you reconnect with your inner wisdom, heal your heart, and live with more love and joy. Life isn't always easy, but what if it could feel lighter, more playful, and more you? In each episode, I'll share real talk, soul insight, and messages I'm guided to deliver. These are reminders of your power, your worth, and your ability to grow through anything. We'll explore self-love, spiritual connection, healing, and ways to bring more love into your everyday life. So let's take a breath, open your heart, and let's begin. I am Lisa Eve with the Wisdom Channel on Transformation Talk Revolution. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. I am a little bit under the weather, a little bit, I have a head cold. I'm healing from that. And I thought it was important for us to do the creating or create space, bring love to your body, because I need it too right now. And let's start the show with hand on heart. Close your eyes if you're in a place where you can do that comfortably. And let's bring love back into our bodies right now. So we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And that's going to count as one round. And we'll do this 3 times. I'm just going to do one more. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I feel like these times call for a little bit more, like 5 breaths, but the minimum is 3. And it doesn't take much time out of your day to do that, to just sit with yourself and tune into the body, into your body, and see how you are feeling in your body. I want to ask you, does this feel like you? Do you feel like no matter how much you do in your day, it's never enough? Do you feel like you have to prove something to somebody that's not yourself? Do you feel like you need to make people proud? People who are living and who are not living. You feel like you need to make yourself proud, to live up to a certain expectation of what you think is expected of you. Do you feel like you're busy and your body hurts, but you're busy, so you need your body to like catch up with the work that you have to do in the world? Do you feel like you can never do enough in your relationship to make the other person happy? So, in today's episode, I'm talking about people pleasing. It's one of the topics. And I can tell you with certainty that the reason why I'm sick again now for the second time in 3 months is because I was overperforming and wanting to please a friend. And I recently took a trip. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little bit darker on this episode. I took a trip to Turks and Caicos, which was beautiful because how is it not beautiful there? And I got all the sun that I really needed to warm my body. And a friend joined me. and I hadn't seen this friend in approximately 10 years. So it was a big deal that we were seeing each other, and it was a beautiful experience. We reconnected like no time had passed, even though I felt like I had to fill in all the details of what had happened in the last 10 years or so. I probably talked more in the 5 days we spent together than I have in the last decade. So it was very interesting for me to witness what was happening. And I had a sore throat every night. I don't believe that I became sick because of the sore throat. I feel like I became sick because I was overriding what I felt like I needed to nurture myself when I go on a quote unquote vacation. But I've noticed lately that I don't really take vacations. And I've written a post about why you need a vacation from your vacation because most of us don't take the vacation to relax. We take it to go do all the things that we don't do while we're working. And then, in a way, we're still working when we're on vacation because we're using our energy probably more so. When you're at work, you have a routine. You have a way in which you operate in the world with your work. And it's familiar and you know what's going to happen. And then you go on vacation and you think about all the great fun things you're going to do, but it actually might take more energy from you to do those things. So that's kind of what happened. We didn't do a lot of things, but the conversations that we had and I guess the activities, like my friend likes to have activities to do, and I just didn't want to do anything. But being the people pleaser I was in those moments, I wanted to make sure that she felt comfortable because I feel, or I was, and I take responsibility for all the choices I make in my life, and I chose to exit out of that friendship many, many years ago. And so now that we were reconnecting, I really wanted to make an effort to, one, be responsible for how I exited and also not let this amazing moment pass me by. So I really wanted to please her. And what did she want to do? What was the thing that she felt comfortable with? And I didn't want to, like I said, miss the opportunity of all this conversation I could have with her. So, yeah, I definitely overtalked. I overshared probably. I shared things that I didn't need to bring up again because we don't really need to talk about our past in detail. Like we can leave the past in the past. And now she's all caught up. We're all caught up with each other. And I also realized, though, that even after she left and I stayed a few more days, well, there were issues at the hotel that were incongruent and miscommunicated. So I was dealing with that as well. And I didn't really get to rest. There was no, I mean, we rested on the beach, and yes, I got some sun, but in the moments that we were quiet, it was short, and then we were talking a lot. So I'm sharing this because how many of us actually do this when we go on vacation? We're in constant on mode, and we, if we go with somebody, if we're traveling with another person, we're usually balancing what they want, what you want, and that's why I think I've also traveled alone for so long, is because when I'm traveling by myself, I'm not having to ask someone else what it is that they want to do. And don't get me wrong, like I thoroughly loved and appreciated and was so grateful for the time with my friend. And now that we have that, we kind of know where to build from there. Like, okay, I made a few mistakes on this trip. This is how I would do it differently in the future. And this is an opportunity for you as well to as we know, we are always learning. And we can also have less hard lessons and let them be more light and gingerly filled and just more spacious, right? That's what we want. We want more spacious lessons instead of like always having to learn something heavy and deep. And so I'm sharing all of this again because I know I'm not alone on this journey. And I also want to express, like, I was considering not hosting this show today. And I always know that I feel so much better after I share because there are definitely times in my life where I just want to hide from the world. I just don't want to be public. I can imagine there's a lot of people in the public sphere who, once they became a celebrity, wish they could turn back time and not be that because then everything it could be a performance. Like I need to maintain this so that because people expect certain things from me. And when do we actually take time for ourselves? And definitely with social media, TikToks, and all the ways in which we're able to share ourselves with you, we sometimes don't take the time that we need for ourselves. And I've noticed that even when I'm on vacation, okay, like I said, it's not really a vacation, but I've noticed that whenever, and I'm using my hands a lot when I'm talking, but you don't see it. It's like below. So if you see my hand coming up, because I'm like talking below, but I'm gonna just put my hands on my lap now. Okay, so I've noticed for myself that even when I travel by myself, I'm working. And this brings me to a memory of my dad. When my dad was alive, every time I would call him, even if it was just to say hello, one of the first things he would say to me is, "What are you working on? Tell me if you can relate to this." Depending on what generation your dad was from. Hard workers, they work until they pretty much die. I mean, my dad didn't really stop working until he died. He may have seemed like he was retired or not as much in the workspace, but he was still in the field in a way. So anyway, every time I would call him, the question was always, "What are you working on, Lisa?" And that made me feel like I always had to be working on something. And so my friend who joined me on my trip, she shared to ask ChatGPT to roast me. That's a prompt to roast you, right? So I did that. Of course, I was like, please be kind. But one of the things that it said was, I may go to a certain location, like I'm going on a trip to relax, but then it takes like 3 flights and a boat to get there. And, or I go somewhere to relax and then I come away with, sorry, I'm going to sneeze because I'm going to sneeze on the truth. I come away with like 3 new blog posts and ideas for a project I haven't started yet. So I'm never actually resting. I'm always working. And I feel like since my dad has passed, of course, I want to make him proud. Okay, he's not on Earth anymore, and he's still around, and I want to make him proud. Like I'm doing my work. So I want to ask you, does this sound like you too? Do you feel like you're burning the midnight oil because you feel like you have to make someone proud in your life who may or may not be with you still? And are you sacrificing your health and well-being because the grind is all you know? More than likely, it's the latter. And I can understand how sometimes you just don't know how to get off the hamster wheel. And there's a lot of pressure in society to be and do something, to figure your life path out sooner than later, to like, what's your purpose, right? We're all looking for our purpose. And yet, our purpose is to love ourselves more, to really like our people pleasing. Can we please ourselves as much as we please others? Because we will always be giving our energy to others in people pleasing roles rather than what we can give to ourselves. And that's how dis-ease occurs in the body. And I know, so when I came home, I was fine for the first day, but I also pushed myself the next day. I came home in the evening, and the next day I had like a day off. And then the following day, I scheduled an appointment, and I knew intuitively that I really didn't want to schedule an appointment for that day, for Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's technically a holiday, but I scheduled something on the day. And the next day, I felt like immediately my body was like, okay, time out. And I had migraines on both sides. That's how it started, and sinus pressure. I know that also has to do with anger in the body. Maybe it's anger at myself, you know, like not giving myself space to relax, not honoring my intuition, not taking care of myself the way that I want to take care of others, give them the space. So I decided to do this show today because even though a part of me wanted to just say, no, I can't do it, I kept hearing the show must go on. But whose voice is that? Is it my spirit's voice? No. Whose voice is saying the show must go on? And I feel for all the performers, right? That musicians, they have a tour, they're not feeling well, but they still go on and they perform through it. And and then they rest after. And that's people pleasing at its best. It's like um I mean, it's people pleasing. And I was thinking to myself, well, on the description of the show, it says new shows every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So I have to give a new show. And that's how I came to be on the show. And then also, I know I usually feel better after I do the show. Like, we're going to do a meditation in a little while. And I know it's going to bring peace and love into my body. And hopefully it does the same for you, wherever you are on your journey. Yep. Just going to take a break, but I don't know that I need to. Because I want to continue. Let me see what I wrote for the show. All right, I'm just going to go through this. Mm, 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 mm. This is how I work, y'all. Sometimes I hum to myself, sing to myself, just move some energy, right? When I wasn't feeling well, like really wasn't feeling well, that's what I would do. I was humming and singing to myself just to see if I can move some energy through my body, and maybe that would help you too. So, also, I've had visions of my life path, future visions of my life path, and none of them include me hiding out. I mean, I hid out before I started doing the podcast. I was hiding out for a while. And The visions, though, are not me like hiding in some sort of cave and not sharing my work or sharing what I feel like I want to share or that my spirit wants to share with you. So, and the reason why I feel this way, it's just like a calling, and you would know it probably if you felt it. You just have an idea of how you're meant to move in the world. And in order for you to know that to be true for yourself, you need to create space and bring love back into your body. So we actually have to do a time out. Sometimes, though, if your mind keeps telling you to rest, and no, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. There's a quote that I've mentioned a long time ago. If your body keeps telling you to rest and your mind keeps telling you to work, one day your body will stop working. Yeah. And then you'll be forced to rest. You'll be forced usually to rest in a hospital somewhere. We don't want that. So I also want to share about suffering. Um, I was thinking earlier today about Mary J. Blige's My Life album. Such a good album. And I totally identified with it when I was younger. I feel like she was the most raw and vulnerable with us on that album. And and I say we, whoever had grown up with that album and identified and played it over and over and over again, we could relate. And I sense that when we are our most vulnerable with people, like I'm doing now, I am not feeling well, but I know I'm not the only one in the world who's not feeling well right now, that we can get through this together somehow, some way. And it's also a way for you to know you're not alone. And I have suffered from depression in my past, and especially during COVID, that was the worst. And yet we're still here, somehow moving on and evolving, and we've learned what we've needed to learn. And there is this identification of suffering that a lot of us will linger in to make us feel better that we're not alone, and we don't want to stay there. Like I can listen to the My Life album now, and it brings me back to where I was when I was going through what I was going through back then when I was listening to the album. But I don't want to stay there, right? I've learned so much about myself since then. So it's good to remember the past as a place of growth. And then in the present moment, we want to keep on moving forward in a way that serves us and heals our bodies. And tell me if this feels like you. Do you feel like you're always healing your body? Do you feel like it never ends? Do you feel like this is like the new normal? We're constantly in a healing state. Yes, I identify with that. And it's sad. I don't really know how else to put it. I feel like we're all grieving silently. Our bodies are holding the grief, the anger that we haven't processed. And yes, I was about to sneeze on that one. I always think that when I sneeze around a thought, it's a sneeze means yes. So I was going to do that. And um yes, and how can we collectively pursue loving ourselves as our jobs? Like, what if that was our career, loving ourselves? Some old school folk, I can hear it now, like some old school people, parents would be like, oh, this American who thinks it's all about loving herself only. And yes, yeah, you know, if you don't resonate, you don't resonate. And what if, though? I mean, I know parents have sacrificed or they are sacrificing their own joy and happiness to raise their children, and that was a choice. That was a choice that was made. Just like I chose to experience the vacation the way that I did, just like I also chose to not have kids. And we all make choices in our lives, and we can also make those choices to help us. And all along the way, we're going to learn something about ourselves. And I personally don't want to learn any more heavy lessons that involve me getting sick. I'm over feeling like crap. Aren't you? Aren't you also over feeling like crap often? Isn't it time? And especially if you're empathic, especially if you are very sensitive, highly sensitive, you are likely picking up on the feelings and emotions of the world right now. And it is not our job to do that. It's not our job to solve the world problems, okay, or the world's problems. It is not our job to heal others. We can naturally heal others by being, I was going to say something else, by being our very best selves. It's just about to sneeze again. I want to say that sometimes I trip up on my words, and I think I mentioned this before, that I used to have a little bit of dyslexia in my childhood. Also, though, I may have had a stroke or two in my past, and I think that's what's the brain and the voice and the mix up and things. And this is not about me sharing this as a suffering. It's just about to let you know why sometimes I trip up on my words. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this. And if you have something you want to share with the world and you're afraid to say it because you have dyslexia or you get also tripped up on your words, just be yourself. That's the best way you can be. And so I wanted to keep on keeping on about being your very best self for you. So again, you're highly sensitive. You could probably feel that people are going through things right now and they're all holding in, excuse me, a lot of people who are holding things in their bodies, like being sick often or catching a virus often. There's just a lot going on right now with the news. And if you can turn off the news, that's one way to bring a little bit more space and love into your body and help yourself to retrain your thoughts to say loving things to yourself. If you've been unwell for a while, one of the books that I love is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. That's been sort of like my health Bible for most of my life. And whenever I'm going through something, I just go into the book and she talks about what the mind body connection is for why you feel the way you do. And there's also an affirmation that is added to, in a way, replenish your body to say something positive and kind to yourself. And when I rewrite the description after this has aired, I will add her book into the description so you can look it up. And so we all have the opportunity to bring love back home to our hearts, to ourselves, and that's how we can help heal others, not by taking on their energy, not by thinking we can fix them, not by thinking that we are their answer to their problems. And I feel like as an empathic, highly sensitive person, you can, or I can find that the boundaries sometimes blur because you can pick up on what someone's feeling and you want to help them, but they have their own life path. So it is not our responsibility to fix anyone, okay? Fix them. It is up to us to live our best lives for ourselves always, first and foremost. Okay, because the more that we give out our energy, or we think that we're giving our energy to help them in some way, we are leaking our energy. That is energy that we need to make sure we keep for our own selves so that we can operate efficiently in the world day to day. All right, so we are pretty much at the halfway mark. And I think we are going to take a quick break here. And when I come back, I will start the meditation to help us all bring more love into the body and create space. Be back in a minute.
Are you struggling with unresolved emotions or recurring patterns? Tune into Beyond Birth Trauma, From Burden to Brilliance with me, Shannon O'Flaherty, on Transformation Talk Radio. On the second Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, we'll explore your own birth experiences and consider how they might be affecting your current life patterns to start your journey towards self-discovery and healing. For more information, visit shannonbtb.com. That's shannonbtb.com.
You're listening to When Everyone Wins, where we're shifting power over and under to power within and between, with your host, Judy Ryan, on Transformation Talk Radio. Tune in each second and fourth Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific as I share my knowledge from decades in workplace culture transformation and leadership development as the founder and CEO of LifeWorks Systems. Learn to create a life you love and help others do the same. For more information, visit lifeworksystems.com.
Looking for more love, joy, and purpose in your life? Lisa Eve is here to guide you. Through intuitive support, healing, and soulful travel, she empowers you to embrace self-love as the key to happiness. Explore her book, The Love Channel, Finding Your Way to Happiness, available on Amazon. And find daily inspiration at thehappychannel.com. Start living your most radiant, joy-filled life today.
Yes, hi, welcome back. I was blowing my nose on the break, making sure I was a little bit more clear to do this next segment. And before I go there, the name of the podcast is The Wisdom Channel, Bring Love to the Playground. I've shared about this briefly in the past, and the bring love to the playground means how can we focus less on all the things that are going wrong in the world? Like things that are being sprayed in the air that we can see visually. We know the skies look different. I'm just doing a very, very light touch on this. And okay, so we see that the world is changing. We know that we're not feeling as well as we used to. And how can we bring more love to our bodies during this change, these changed moments, how the world is not what it used to be, how we are growing up in different times now. It is what it is. And how can we lean more deeply into ourselves? How can we clear our negative thoughts? How can we bring more space and love into our bodies? How can we focus more on ourselves instead of focusing on what we definitely see and feel in the world? That's the message I received before I came on air, because the sky today where I am doesn't look like this background. It's it was a little bit gray, and I can see that the sky just doesn't look the same, and the air is not the same. And I wanted to go more deeply into this, and I also want to bring the focus back to why are we here? Okay, so this just moved because I'm using my hands below. And the focus is bring love to the body. So the more that we focus on what's going on out there, the less we are taking care of ourselves. That is why. This is why. Okay, there. So you can see the hands now. This is why we are here, to help each other. So we help each other by taking care of ourselves. Because if I find out how I can take best care of myself, and I have found the way that works, where I am not sick twice in 3 months, then whatever I've learned, I can share with you. So it is about us bringing love to our bodies. The work will always be there. Everything that we need to do, any way that we feel like, I was going to sneeze again. I don't want to sneeze because you're going to hear it because the mic is right there. It's going to be like in your ear. I should probably, though, release so it's not in my body. Learning in real time with you. What was I saying? My brain just went. My point is, we need to focus more on ourselves. Take better care of ourselves so that we can take better care of others. Because what we learn, we can share with others. Okay, let's do the meditation now. Otherwise, I'm just gonna ramble. And even though it's kind of fun to ramble on these shows, the point is to bring something of value for you. And when I do the meditation, I feel something, I feel better. So let's enjoy it together. Are we ready? Okay. So let's see. We have 20 minutes left in the show. My team's like, we got you. We got this. So I invite you to close your eyes. Obviously, if you're driving, don't do this. Listen to this later. But if you're sitting in a lot of traffic and you know you're not moving for a while, you can probably participate. Just be mindful and aware. All right, let's put hands on hearts. Excuse me. So take a few deep inhalations and exhalations. You can do like the hand on heart exercise. If you could just hear my stomach growl, I'm hungry, I will eat after the show. And if you're hungry, you eat when you need to eat. About taking care of yourself. Don't overstep hunger pains or your body telling you you need to eat. Okay, back to what I was saying. Let's inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And if you're getting over a cold and your nose is stuffed, just breathe in and out through your mouth. You're going to get more oxygen in that way anyways. Just keep breathing. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Just inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, or inhale through the mouth and exhale through the mouth. Okay. Now imagine a bright yellow light in front of your forehead. It can be as bright as the sun. And you can imagine the sun. Just see a bright yellow light just radiating, shining its light on you. And now see it as it moves above your head. And now it's shining directly down on top of your head. And keep taking deep breaths as you need to. The deep breaths are helping you to release and create space in your body. And if you feel emotions coming up while doing this, allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to feel them. Just see the bright light above your head, shining brilliantly, beautifully, just shining its light down on you, letting you know you're not alone. You are never alone. Keep breathing. Exhales through your mouth. You are never alone. Right now, if you're listening to this, I'm here. I'm here with you. We are never alone. Spirit is with you. Your spirit is with you. Your spirit wants to help you. Your spirit wants to help you. What is it that you want right now? Right now, I want to feel better. So just say to your spirit, my spirit and only my spirit that's in full control of this vehicle. The vehicle being the body, your body. My spirit and only my spirit. I want to feel better. I want to feel great. I want to feel empowered. I want to feel healthy. I want to feel sane in what feels like an insane world. I want to feel clear and understand my thoughts better. You say to your spirit what you want. And keep breathing. Keep letting the heavy energy that you've been carrying for so long to release and flow out of your body. Keep on asking your spirit what it is you want. There is no limit. It's not just 3 wishes. You can ask for as much as you want. I want to feel financially abundant, prosperous in my everyday, day-to-day life. I want to feel free. I want to feel free in my own body and in my own mind to make choices that align for me and what I want. Not what my kids want, not what my parents want. The knots are commentary, and I would just suggest that you stay in the positive. So I want to be free in my own thoughts and have my own loving thoughts for myself. Keep on asking your spirit what it is that you want. Mm. I want to travel the world in comfort. I want to stay at beautiful luxury properties that don't charge me so much money and are unable to live up to the price that they charge. I want to stay in places that have integrity, communicate clearly about what I'm being charged for, and are not going to add on charges without telling me or asking me, would I be okay with those charges? I want to live in a world that has integrity, where we communicate with integrity with each other. Ask your spirit for what you want. The beautiful yellow light is still shining down on you. It's helping you to remember who you are. You are a beautiful, beautiful being in this world, on this planet Earth. You have an opportunity to change your life and the lives of others just by being you. So now we want you to see that beautiful yellow light just resting gently on the top of your head. It's not a ball, it's just a plate. It's flat and round. And it just gently rests on the top of your head. Now see it just folding over, like resting completely all around the top of your head. Like as if you were going to melt some plastic, but it's not plastic. If you're going to melt some plastic, like a shrinky dink, and it forms to your head, just covers you in this beautiful, soft yellow light. It just softens you. And it's with you at all times, helping you to stay soft in your thoughts, in your mind, in your body, and just reminds you you're never alone, and you can always ask your spirit for what you want. Take a big breath in and exhale through the mouth. Bring your awareness back to your hand on heart. When you're ready, open your eyes. Your spirit cares for you, and it guides you every single day. Work with it. Talk with it. Speak lovingly with your spirit about what it is you truly, heartfelt want in your life. It is not going to steer you wrong. You will learn lessons on your path, and you can have lighter lessons going forward. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this week. I'm so grateful. I know I'm not alone. I know we're all in this together, doing the best that we can. And we're going to continue to flourish in the best way, in the best ways possible for ourselves, first and foremost, and then for others. Have yourselves a wonderful week, a wonderful day, a beautiful evening. Relax gently throughout your day or your evening, and I will see you again in the next episode. Bye for now. See you soon.
I am Lisa Eve. Thank you for listening to the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground, airing every second and fourth Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Remember, self-love is the foundation of your happiness, so take one small step today to nurture your beautiful self. To go deeper on your healing and self-discovery journey, pick up my book, The Love Channel, Finding Your Way to Happiness, available now on Amazon. And for daily inspiration and uplifting content, visit thehappychannel.com. Until next time, keep your heart open, walk your path with love, and never forget, you have the power to heal.